Morning. And symptom group. Let's start with 3. Take a deep breath in. Next is Kapalbhati. Let's do 20 strokes Kapalbhati with one nose. Let's closing the left nostril. Let's do 20 strokes of Kapalbhati. So back is straight. Any comfortable posture, preferably Sukhasana. Close your left nostril and 20 strokes. Close the other nostril and then do 20 strokes. It is very good in the allergies. Sorry, in the allergy season. A lot of flowers blooming. The last one with both the nose. Next we'll do the Shithali Pranayam. Shithali pranayam is cooling. So let's roll the tongue and inhale and exhale with your nose. Last time. Next is roll your tongue horizontally and inhale and exhale through the nose. Now, in this process, keep the focus always on the breath. Feel track the breath going in and track it going down. So that forms a kind of meditation. So let's start. Inhale, the tongue roll. The last one is southern thing. So teeth together and inhale and exhale. So let's do it 3 times. The last of the breathing exercise is Brahmari. So close your ears with the thumb, and two fingers, the index and the middle finger, close the eyes, and the ring finger close the nose, and then close the mouth. But before you start any of this, take a deep breath in and with your mouth closed, chant a, which becomes ama, and then slowly exhale. It's a form of meditational exercise. So let's start it. Take a breath in. One more. Next is Shashankasana. Sit in the Vajrasana, comfortable. As you inhale, raise your hands up, and as you exhale, go down with the hands forward, and then slip down. So hands up. Inhale again. This time, try to get a bigger stretch. Pull your hands up, exhale, and go down. Try to be seated properly. Next, same Shashankasana, but hands on the back and pulling upward. So cross the hands in the back. Take a breath in, exhale, and go down. Complete exhale. Last time, try to stretch the hands upward a lot. That way you get the good stretch. Next, we'll go to Pawan Muktasan. This is the first seating position. When you're seated, press your lower back down. That's a regular seating. And then looking up. This is the starting position. This gives you a good stretch. Now let's do Pawan Muktasan, which is a abdomen or core workout as well as a good stretch and warm up exercise. Stretch your right leg, get the stretch, and let's do 5 rounds. Next, stretch the left leg back, stretch it, and then right hand forward, get the stretch, and then pull the legs up, hands up. Next is Marjarasan. Back to this position. Make sure your body is not either hands are not too close or too far. They are straight. Hips go down and neck goes up as you inhale, and hips get pulled up and neck gets down as you exhale. So slowly inhale and pull your hips down and neck up. Exhale, neck down, hips up. Next from here, it is Parvatasana. So Parvatasana is the complete feet is on the ground, and then the ears between the shoulders. So the key is complete feet on the ground, and when you are on the asana, pull your hips backward. That gives you a good stretch. Feet on the ground, both the feet, ears between your shoulders, and then pull your hips back. We'll do it one more time. Raise up, Next, from this pose itself is Ashtanga Namaskar. So 8 parts again touch the ground. So toes, knees, chest, the forehead, and the two hands. So these are the 8 parts that touch the ground. Try to avoid your belly or hip region and nose touching the ground. Let's try for it. One more time. Next is Paschimottanasana and Purvottanasana. So let's do the Purvottan. So Purvottanasana is raising the body upward. So this is the starting posture. This is starting posture. Hands forward or backward, however you feel comfortable. And raise your hips up, and then the feet go and touch the ground. And try to pull the hips as up as possible, making a straight plank on the body, inclined slope. So this is Purva Uttan. Purva Uttan is raising your body upward. So let's take a deep breath in, raise up, and then normal breathing. The complement raise, Paschimottanasana. So going down. So the ultimate goal is touching the forehead to the knee. That's the ultimate goal. But for that to happen, let us start with the initial part. First hold, if possible, hold your toes. Else, you can hold the knees or whatever you feel comfortable with. Get the stretch. Every breathe in and breathe out, try to stretch a little more extra so that your body starts stretching. Try to hold the middle of your feet. Try to go further down the heels. Now you're getting a good stretch. It will make it easier to go further down. Now, if possible, go down and stay at your forehead to the knees, and if possible, stay there for a couple of seconds and then come up. So you should start feeling the stretch on your lower back and back. That is when it means that you have started doing the asana correctly. Take a stretch. Sit up straight and try to pull the body up. Next is Gunamudam. So sitting on the ground, the lateral twists, sit on the ground, and then try to go and touch the forehead to the ground with both the hips seated. Don't try to raise or turn, both the hips seated and then touch down. Exhale and go down. Pose it. Get the good stretch. Stretch. Next is Kandharasana and Setubadhasana series. So we'll do Kandharasana first and then Setubadhasana. So Kandharasana is lie down on the back. Starting pose for Kandharasana is pull your feet together closer and hold the ankles. Put your grasp your ankles. Try to keep your body relaxed. In this posture, you'll not be able to move further. So try to relax yourself in this posture. Next, try to raise your hips up all the way up and down. It should be a natural up and down instead of being jerked. So slow up, pull it up further and then down. Up, down. So the next is this is Kandharasana. The next one is Setubadhasana. So where we raise the hips up and support with our crown of the brain on the ground and hands still going forward. So adjust yourself and raise up. Even in this posture, try to raise your hips up. That gives you a very good stretch. So let's do it one more time. Pull your hips up while the head sits on the crown. Next is sitting Virasana. Relax in Virasana pose. Hands down, stretch. Next, switch the legs. This is a good stretch. Next is Uttan Padasana and Supta Vajrasana. So it is Uttan Padasana is sitting, raising one leg and then getting the stretch. And the next Supta Vajrasana is lying down in the Vajrasana pose. Again, there are variations in Supta Vajrasana, so we'll do a couple of variations. So, sorry, the legs stretch forward. Make yourself comfortable, and slowly bring your right feet in. Keep the body straight. And slowly raise the feet up, if possible straight. Keep the knees straight. Looking at your toes. Swing up and down with the other leg stiff on the ground. Now touch the knees to the forehead. Bring it down. Other leg. Make yourself comfortable. Raise your legs up. Get the stretch. Feel the stretch. Try to pull your feet back and get that stretch in the hamstring. Swing your body. Holding your knees. Touch. This is a very good stretch to your knees and the lower back. The next asana, is going into Supta Vajrasana. Sit in Vajrasana, hands on the feet and looking forward. And as you inhale, next time, try to go down on your back and sleep. The ideal pose would be not to stretch the knees out, but if you're not comfortable, then you can stretch a bit and go into the pose and then try to stretch it back. But again, it's a difficult asana because it involves a lot of stretch in your knees and back. So try to take your time to do it. If you're not able to do it completely, do whatever best your body can absorb or accommodate. Hold your hands on the back. forward. It's a very good stretch to the body. The next one is the plank pose. So lying on the side and then pulling the body up. So lay on your side. Feet one above the other. In complete side, it's difficult to balance. So try to balance yourself. And then get the stretch. Making yourself comfortable in this uncomfortable posture is yoga. Start focusing inside. You feel the air going in and going out. You'll find it more comfortable. Next, try to raise your hips up with the hands on the side. So that 1, 2, 5, 6. Opposite side. Try to get the stretch. Complete stretch on the side. If you are on the complete side, you will be uncomfortable. Close your eyes, focus inside, and try to balance. Next, hands to the side. Get the stretch and then raise up. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next, we'll do the Ustrasana, that's the camel pose. So we'll start with Ardha Ustrasana, that is raising ourselves up and getting into the sthiti, and then the complete Ustrasana. Hands to the side, hands to the back side. If you feel dizziness, then you can stop the exercise. This asana, right? Push your lower back forward and then eventually go back. Next is Purna Ustrasana. So raise your hands up. Take a deep breath in, and as you inhale, go back and then regular breathing. Try to make 90 degrees with your hips and with your hands. and to the good. It's a good stretch to the back. So your entire back, especially when we're working from home, there's a lot of lack of exercise and stress on the back because not always our sitting postures are healthy. So those gets stretched and compressed, which is good for the back. So the next asana is it's a dual pose. So dual pose is two asanas together. So the asana is lying down, coming up and touching the hands to the feet and then going back. So let's do that. I'm gonna put the camera here. Hands to the back. One. Make it smooth. Try to raise up without lifting your legs. Next is couple of Padmasana series. I think that we have about 5 minutes time. We will do one of the Padmasana series. That is the Padmasana lying back. Sit in the Padmasana comfortable posture and slowly go down and lie back. Now put your crown of the head on the ground and touch your toes. Get the stretch completely. Yes, sir. We'll do two Surya Namaskar and then go to Shavasana. Stand in at the edge of the mat, hands up, close together. Mitraय Namaha. Last one. Get the good stretch and try to do the asana perfectly. Next, let's go for Shavasana. Lay on the back, feet apart, hands apart, keeping your eyes closed. Completely focus on your breath and relax the body. Bring the consciousness back and then sit. Eyes closed, preferably. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Thank you. Any feedback or any suggestions?
Thanks, Prabhat.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thanks for joining.